Shabbat Shalom. It's hard to put into words as we sit together thinking about all of the different experiences that we have had individually as a community of Jews in the Valley and as Angelinos, feeling the effects of the fire as it still rages on and as the firefighters and other first responders work to keep things in check, to keep things from expanding. The fact that life goes on, that our families experience birth and they experience loss and they experience sickness and they experience health. There's so much bound up in the human experience, and it's hard to put that into words on any week, and maybe particularly so for this Shabbat that we're about to enter. The Torah gives us a little bit of that sense of overwhelm as we open up the book of Exodus this Shabbat. And in probably one of the most understated texts at the beginning, we read about there arose a Pharaoh in Egypt who knew not Joseph. And remember the story, of course, that Jacob and Joseph and his brothers had ended up in Egypt after a famine, and Joseph had risen to prominence and settled his family in a particularly fertile land until they grew and they grew, and there arose a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph, didn't know his story, didn't know who these Jews were who were living there, and ultimately chose to subjugate them and enslave them. And we get all of that from that one little tiny text. This is a moment of understatement, my friends, because there is too much to say. So I will leave you with that sense of time passing, that sense of our community doing what it does to come together in ways big and small with generous acts. And there's no way we can put that into words other than by saying we come together every Shabbat to be in community, to give ourselves that support so that we can continue making the lives of the people in our community and our own lives a little bit more whole every single week. Shabbat Shalom.